get to watch the war, which is very strange. And people are demonstrating about going to war, which I understand because war isn't a very nice thing. However, we should demonstrate before the war about having an army at all if we actually are against it. It's very strange that there's amount of those troops that are over there, and now it's like pulling the carpet from underneath them. Whether we should be doing that or not, I don't know. Whether we should let Saddam Hussein carry on or not, I don't know. It wouldn't be right to let it happen. But I know that he's supposed to comply to a bunch of agreements from the previous war when he invaded Kuwait, and he hasn't, so that should be set right. Everybody wants to blame the Americans for everything. That's too easy. Or wants to blame the English for everything. That's too easy. But we shouldn't really, obviously, if we can help it, we don't want to go to war. But as we are at a war, we shouldn't be watching it on the TV so that we can say, oh, that person got hurt. More people were killed the other week in a ferry that went down somewhere than have been killed thus far on this war. And I would think Saddam Hussein reportedly has killed quite a few people within this thing. But then you could say that the British should be looking at what they did in Rhodesia with Mugabe and whatever is going on there now, and other issues around the world. The answer to that question is I just don't know. I can be on one foot and think, if Saddam Hussein is doing those things to his people, he should be moved. If the Americans are after the oil, well, we all still use the things. We want to point the finger at the Americans saying, well, they're using the oil, and you and I are going to drive home soon. So all that, it's all a bit tricky. It's all a bit...
I feel, and again this is a personal question, because I'm not a politician, but I felt that we should have gone into Iraq. And we did support Bush because the whole world thought there were weapons of mass destruction, and the man was a lunatic, and there was no... He could, and as lunatics do, they'll strike out. We have discovered that there were no weapons of mass destruction, but he was bluffing all the time, and we had to go in. It is one mess there now. What is going to happen, I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. I feel that if America and Britain come out of Iraq, there would be massacres. This was exactly the same many years ago in our country with Northern Ireland. Lots of people in Britain felt that the British troops should come out of Northern Ireland. But again, what they were afraid of, that there would be massacres in Northern Ireland between, again, the Protestants and the Catholics. And to put it simply, it is about religion, and many of these wars are about religion, unfortunately. How it's going to be resolved, no one knows. But I feel so sorry for all of those innocent bystanders, and there are so many of those getting killed, maimed.
Well, in theory it's a democracy. I'm not saying it is 100%, but we know that a military dictatorship can never be that good. A military dictatorship is dangerous. I'm not saying that democracy isn't necessary. Democracy, I think Churchill said, is the... democracy going on there, is the lesser of all the evils. If you can have a benign dictatorship, then fine, but none of us really trust a benign dictator because power corrupts most people. And I've seen various reports from various people, conflicting reports from Iraqis that want to see the Saddam Hussein gone, and some who don't. And the danger is that we bring religion into it. When religion comes into it, it's up shit creek. Because then with this side of the world say, we're Christians and they're Muslims. The Christians think they're right and the Muslims think they're right. It's fucked.
And I think I'm in that point in my life where it's time to start forming a strong opinion about things. As of now, I definitely don't agree with the war in Iraq. It's just unnecessary.
And terrorism is such an ugly word. It's a horrible word, and it's a word that we have to live with, I think, for the rest of our lives. 9/11 was such a huge shock to the world, but whatever happens now, like last week in Russia, people are no longer surprised. We will take it as if that is the norm, but it mustn't be the norm, and it's up to our politicians to do something about it.